I guess the only way to walk through it is to walk through it. The only way to get through it and to grow from it and to actually have some evolution from it in your soul is to go through the motions. Mm-hmm. 1 year you're cooking things from scratch. 1 year you're saying, fuck it, I'm not doing anything. Yeah. Next year maybe you're doing a little sprinkle of like
maybe it'll be
like just adding it in like the salt guy.
Yes.
Going,
Yeah.
But I do think that allowing a painful experience to get in the way of a day that could be beautiful just because of the people, then don't spend time with those people. Find people who bring you joy and spend time with them. Welcome to my so-called healing podcast.
Did you forget
totally
the name
spaced on the name.
It's like, did we forget our name?
I didn't. I was like ready to go, and then I was like, wait a minute.
Second guess yourself.
What am I doing right now in this moment? Am I recording?
What's happening?
What's going on in my life? I have no idea, quite literally.
Feels right. It feels right.
Beyond disoriented.
Yeah.
So listen, you guys are actually like very responsive to the last couple episodes, which makes Anna and I very happy that we're able to touch and reach more women who feel the same as we do about the world in general.
Yes.
And we're able to offer little nuggets of, I don't know, lifeline of things that maybe are similar to what you're going through. So we're very appreciative for the audience growth and the sharing the episodes and all the things that you guys are doing.
Yes.
We would love for you to subscribe, continue to subscribe on the website at mysocalledhealing.com. They're linked in the show notes. And also, please head over to the Facebook group. We were more active. Not phenomenally well, but we were more active this week.
Anything is better than what it was. Nothing,
yeah.
So.
And we'll just continue to get more and more active and grow that community. That, for reals, is extremely important to me personally, and I know Anna shares the vision with me. So it's important that we build that community and have a little safe space in the nook of the internet for women like us to be able to share openly and safely.
Yes.
So head over there and join the group. Everything gets linked in the show notes. And with that, I think we're continuing on what we talked about last week, because messy healing seems to be very up front and center with the holidays coming, with all the chaotic bullshit that's everywhere. The traffic alone is enough to trigger me into some form of violent, rage-filled, like, fury.
Yeah.
I mean, it's alone is enough to cause me. Where was I going the other day? And I was like, I had Paisley in the car, who's 7 going on 30. But I was like, what the fuck? And she's like, Mom, you're swearing. I'm going to put you in the swear jar. And I'm like, Paisley, not now. Like, there's literally so much. We were going on this one road, but like normally at 4:30, there's not much traffic. And it was bumper to bumper, both sides at the whole, like, going left, going right, going straight, or going behind us. I was like, this is crazy. Holidays. Happy holidays while the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holidays.
Did you see that TikTok I sent you earlier of the...
If you sent it today, the answer is immediately no. I haven't even looked at my text messages today. Yours are still unread because I had to click like the save, like mark unread.
I send you good stuff.
Well, correct. And I do end up watching it. It's just not on Anna's timeline, which is a problem for her.
Which is annoying for me. But whatever. It's fine.
I mean, people are freaking nuts right now.
Yeah.
Like, I saw somebody, like, accost somebody in the line of a Kroger, and I was like,
what happened?
Bro, I am impatient. There's nobody. Like, if I have a list in my head and I'm doing it, like, boom, 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 and something blocks me from doing it, I'm like, and I have to, like, check myself, like, you're in public, you're not, what are you doing? But this kid had the register and like the self scans, right? That are supposed to save time and effort and energy. Your cats are fighting. So the kid one wasn't working and the light was bump, 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 and the person wasn't coming over quick enough for the kid, so the kid moved their stuff over. And this lady went on a rampage on this kid about etiquette at the U-Scan and how dare he cut in front of, look at the line, look behind you. You're not the only person on the planet. I mean, it was fucking nuts. I'm sorry. The kid had a pop and a bag of Ruffles.
So it's not like he had
No, he had a pop and a bag of Ruffles in this, and he was like a bagger, like a cart boy. Like he had to be like 14, 15 max. And this lady like went on a freaking tirade on him.
Yeah. What's that about? I feel like people, I don't know if it's that no one has filters anymore or what the deal is, but I feel like, I don't know.
And I feel like post-COVID, it's like way amplified. Quite frankly, even me since COVID happened, I am not the same person that I was like pre-COVID. I can't decide if I like the isolations much better or not. Like sometimes, like Gabby and I were talking, we were driving somewhere the other day, and she's like, "Mom, remember when the world like it was COVID and everything was shut down and we would drive and it was like only us on the road?"
Yeah.
Like,
I remember driving to work to Royal and like there was no cars on the road and it was the best thing ever.
Yeah, like no traffic, nobody. She's like, and then she brought up, she's like, remember when you were wiping groceries down with the Clorox wipes and you wore a paint? I was crazy. I had a paint suit, like an actual painter's white. I would wear it to the store with my mask, and then I had goggles.
So you
nothing
looked
was
like,
getting me.
okay.
Nothing was getting me.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
I looked like I was going in like an investigator, like one of the
going into a crime
scene, like not going to spread any DNA. It was funny. I think a lot of people struggle this time of year, and obviously we touched on last week, and we know that it's a whole other episode in and of itself, but like the way that your parents can trigger you is so much more I don't know what the word is, not unfiltered, but that it's so much like of a knee-jerk reaction to just react the way you did as a kid.
And you're instantly back, like you were saying in the last episode, you're instantly back to that age.
Well, and you can't filter, and then it's like once you're in, I'm always like, I'm in too deep, I'm not stepping out. Like I am like
committed. I'm just going to keep it going.
I can hear myself, and I'm like, this is ridiculous, rein it in, and then I'm like, nope, already too far in, not stopping. There's no stopping me now.
Oh, man. It's so true, though.
It's bizarre how, and my kids, same, like my 17-year-old, I can see it. And actually, I know how to needle her, too, to get her to flip, which my parents, I know my mom does to me.
Yes, parents definitely know that.
It's one of the great gifts of parenthood is loving your child so much. And then when they're being irritating, you're like, gonna sew here, gonna like needle, gonna get you. Like it's, and then it backfires, but it is funny for like a whole minute and a half when you're doing it.
For a solid 30 seconds, and then it's back to hell.
So I think that what I wanted to touch on, since we're dealing with like how this time of year is difficult, right? It's so hard to stay in your lane on where you're going, where you want to go. And then you have the added pressure of the bullshit New Year's, whatever, like, which is stupid, because I would prefer anyone I work with, even like clients, and I tell friends, like, why don't you just start it in July? Like it's got more meaning, at least in July, if you're attempting to make these changes, than January 1 of like the resolution, which I hate that word even, but like
start now. Why are you waiting?
Yeah.
You know?
But like, you know, if you're going to have this epiphany, like, let's not force ourselves to have an epiphany for January 1st. Let's like really think on it and like go in the direction which you're called. Yeah. Like organically, not because ads and the world is telling you to make your resolutions.
Right. No, I agree. I like that.
Because it's so stupid.
I've never been a resolution person, really.
You clearly never had weight to lose, because for like 15 years of my life, every year I was like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds and start a diet. Although typically I will say I agree with the people that do the no booze January or like the detox cleanse thing, because it's not just booze for the month of December. It's like all the fucking sugar
so much,
and gluten and sodium, and like it's so much just
like detox.
Yeah, like get it all like out of your body. Like, so I don't disagree with doing something like that, but nobody sticks. I used to hate being at the gym when I belonged to Lifetime, because it was like I would go all year round, and then you'd go January, you cannot get a parking spot. You cannot get to the classes. And then the most annoying thing ever is by like the middle of February, nobody's coming anymore.
Yeah. At least you have the space back. Got the gym back.
Well, right, but I like the gyms push that timeline. So, although I did read an article and I was kind of excited, it was like 2020. It's from Pinterest, like business, but like one of the things they're saying is video centered and like gym centered workouts are going out of style. People are going to do like rogue, solo, like outdoor, more type workouts, like more natural, working out type things. That. Which I was like, interesting, very interesting.
I like it.
I think it's a good flow. Like, I thought gyms were getting a little too big for their britches to begin with. I mean...
Yeah. I've never been a big gym person.
No, I was a big gym person after my divorce, and I met, like, a lot of... there was, like, a great little community of women and stuff that I met there that we would do things and go places, and it, like, was almost more of, like, a social circle. It was like super supportive. So there's good and bad. I think little gyms more so than the big
more community aspect, yeah.
But gyms are not my vibe anymore. I mean, I like the bar classes where we go Barcode. I like that place. I like Hotworks, which
we have yet to go to.
But we have a membership.
We've been paying for this membership for how many months and have not gone?
3.
Story of our lives. Mm-hmm. Quite literally.
Barcode I like. My daughter's been doing this yoga Y6 place that she is like obsessed with. She comes back
That's the one in the Village, right?
Dripping in sweat. Like, and I mean, this is a 17-year-old who's played volleyball. She's very fit, can run, like all kinds of stuff. And she is like, it's hot yoga, but even when it's not hot, it's still like 80 or something. And they have like the cardio ones and they use the infrared and then it's got music. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, that's
boom.
cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
So we can get another membership somewhere and not use it?
Yeah, or try it. I just was meaning, like, my point is if I was going to join another situation, it would be one of those places for sure.
That sounds cool.
So
healing, holidays.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to look. I hate when we have our phones on episodes because then we're both like, when I watch the videos, I'm like, oh, look at us looking at our phones while we're on the video.
But typically it's looking at notes.
Yeah.
It's not like we're not texting or
accurate.
Doing
unless my kid's being annoying, and sometimes that is the case. But I think like there's having a trauma-informed lens, anybody, whether you're a professional or not, even if it's for yourself, having a trauma-informed lens about what triggers you, what could affect you, what maybe even it's like foresight, like looking at an evening. It's what I do with drinking, right? Like 11 years sober is what I do. Like I sort of play the evening out of my head. Like, should I drive myself or can Jeff and I like riding in a car with someone else? I don't really ever have the urge to drink, but I still plan as if something could trigger me. And in a second, I'm making a bad decision. So I think that, like, looking for potential minefields and, you know, like IED explosions, like, and trying to divert yourself accordingly. But I think having an informed lens is important for the holiday season.
And a plan, yeah.
A plan for sure. For sure. You have some plans in action, right, for holidays? I forget. Are you going to Ohio or?
I have not had that conversation yet. I have no idea.
My kids think that you're having Christmas morning with us. So.
I like how it's just like
Paisley's got a whole plan for the sleepover, for where you're sitting, like where we're sitting and opening gifts. Like it's a whole thing.
Yeah, I've been doing a good job of avoiding that conversation because I am somebody who I do not like the holidays. I can't. I would really rather just skip over them, sleep through them.
Hate that you hate them.
I can't. Like, I don't have a tree up. I don't really know if I plan on putting a tree up. Like, I'm not a holiday person. However, that is because of trauma. And
let's talk about something.
Oh God.
Anna and we got her ornaments last year that are so single woman cute, like
they
adorable. She has a tree. She needs a new tree, and some of them are going on sale. But it's very simple to put up a fake tree. I put here.
Here's the thing.
You guys, my house. I'm going to post pictures in the show notes. This last week, I have no house. She
has a basement apartment.
I'm living in a studio basement apartment of my home. Thank God that we have a walkout basement with a kitchen and running water and a full bath. My upstairs, the walls are down. It's literally drywall is off now. It's to the studs. Every single room in my house, and walking through it, I'm like, oh my God. how crazy are we to do this starting in December? And then, but you know what? Made it work. I have a smaller tree that I normally put like in my entryway. That's my tree. It's got more fancier ornaments and stuff. It's like my tree. So I put that up. And then we have outside lights in the backyard this year. We didn't put them up front so that we can see them like around our patio. I put my wreath on the back door that we're at, like trying to make it feel for my kids like as normal as possible. But I was not able to get in the mood until I put the tree up. Well, I didn't put the tree up. The elves brought the tree.
Yes, the elves.
And they did find it perfectly in my holiday closet and bring it out. But I was not able to get in the mood even without my twinkle. Like once I turn the lights on and I have like some garland hanging like up on the drop ceiling of the thing. Like once I have them on and I'm like sitting in there and like we were watching, I don't know, some kid Christmas movie with Paisley and I was like, it's like, yeah, it feels
Now
like
it feels
Christmas.
like
I
Christmas.
can like kind of like relax and celebrate a little.
Yeah. Well, the tree that I have is old and
It
sheds,
shedded a lot, right?
And
Okay.
also I have to put lights on it. It's not a pre-lit, which is a pain in the ass. I fucking hate putting lights on a tree. So that's one issue. Second issue is I have a kitten who likes to destroy everything. And I know for a fact that he will be all up in there and will probably knock it down. And I also don't feel like dealing with that.
Why don't you get the ones that you see where people put their fake trees, just the poles and then the top portion?
I feel like that looks dumb.
It's so funny.
It's funny, but I think it looks dumb.
Why don't you hang it from the ceiling?
Also looks dumb.
I like it upside down. I think it's cute, a good vibe. But I also, my littles have no interest in my tree, which I'm shocked.
Yes.
Shocked about. Peter's too fat to like it, but like Patricia, I'm surprised. But you know what? I'm giving him Meow Joanna because all the noise from the knocking the walls out, literally all. So it's my family, the four of us. Then it's my 4 pets plus the fish. A dog and 3 cats plus the fish. Gil, it matters to me at least. I was like, somebody get the fish tank, like carrying it down.
Can't forget the fish.
I saved the fish's life. It almost died 2 years ago. It had ammonia. Its nose was red. It had like some weird ammonia poisoning. And I single-handedly saved that fish. And it's still alive today.
She's pretty proud of it.
I
Clearly.
am. Because it's a fish.
I mean, every time that you go out of town and I'm left to take care of your animals, it's the fish that I'm terrified of killing.
Gilly guy just
Every time I'm like, if I kill this fish, like I can't get, like
he
I don't
like
know
gets
why,
me. He
but-
like vibes around and like looks at us like he's just like floating into the zone, man. He just understands. I can't explain it.
Oh, God.
So I have all the animals on top of my family, and the tree and the garland, but even the cats really they're not like they were kind of interested when I was putting it up, and I was like, get away from this tree, and then they were like, whatever, I'm not into it.
Yeah, but this is our second Christmas.
Yeah, but not really.
Yeah,
We got them Christmas Day last year.
but they were around my tree.
Yeah, for 2 days.
And then you didn't take your Christmas tree down right away, right?
Well, I take it down by the first week of January. Yeah, I don't leave
See,
it
that's
up.
the other reason why I don't feel like putting it up, because it's basically like, I feel like it's only going to be up for a couple of weeks, and I just am lazy.
Everyone, we're going to put a poll up on how many people think it would make in it. Here, then put a wreath up. You don't have to put a tree up. You could do something to be festive.
I just am not feeling it. I don't want to.
Well, I'm going to make you. I'm going to bring over some stuff to make it festive.
I just really am not feeling the vibe.
But this is depressing.
I don't know why. I just
Talk about triggered.
so normally
This is depressing me. You have to have the lights. The lights have to be on.
normally I'm not feeling, but like for some reason, like I'm extra not feeling it this year.
Well,
Like
I
I'm
feel
feeling
like-
extra Scroogey.
But you're agoraphobic now.
I am not agoraphobic. I'm not afraid to leave my house. I choose not to leave my house. There's a difference between being afraid
She's
and choosing.
agoraphobic. Yeah, but you think that it's a choice, but really it's not. 'Cause
It is
you're
a
like,
choice.
oh, so-and-so wants me to come out. I can't. I want to cancel.
It's a choice. It's a choice of
I'm
not
canceling.
wanting to.
Because I can't leave my apartment.
I don't want to get ready and leave my apartment. I pay a lot of money for my rent. So you better fucking believe that I am going to get my money's worth.
I can vibe with that.
Just saying. And also, I like my apartment. And I like my cats.
Do you think that Christmas decorations trigger people, though, like in a negative way? I feel like it's kind of impossible. And here, I am not like some Holly homemaker, like, that's like, Hallmark movie with cookies and like trying, like, I'm very much like, but to me, I just remember being a kid and like the magic of like a Christmas tree. It still does it to me. If I sit in the dark, like, and I put the tree on, I get like calm and excited.
Like the vibe of like in the mornings or at night, right? The tree's lit and it's like dark. Like that does look nice. It's peaceful. However, it's a lot of effort. And I mean, we celebrated Christmas, but it wasn't ever like holidays for us. I feel like weren't ever a huge thing. And also, obviously, there was a lot of just family issues in general that for me, holidays they just give me anxiety. Like, and as soon as I know holidays are approaching, I get instant anxiety and I would just rather skip over them.
There's a couple years where I had like bad, like there was one, like the Christmas, the year my sister died, she died in the summer, but my parents like, it's the one thing I wish they would have done differently. Like I normally don't scrutinize or like go over like, why did you do that type of thing? But this is like the one thing that I like have never been able fully to like
let go of.
Yeah, because it really fucked with me because my family has always celebrated and my aunt always had this huge Christmas Eve and it was like we did these skits and it was like my family, right? And then Christmas Day at my aunt's house. And in fact, like it got to the point because my mom's family was smaller, like my grandpa and my aunt, like they would all come to my dad's sisters like too. So it was like my whole family all together.
Both sides.
And anyways, the first year my parents, we went to the Florida Keys because my mom like couldn't do it. And I understand her not being able to do it. But looking back, like if you were going to make it different, then you should just left me with like Aunt Judy. Like, and I could have had some, because I think for me the normalcy of like even the void with my sister gone and if my parents were gone still, like it, just the normal every like thing that we did, like I don't know. To me, that's one thing that like really messed with me. So we never did it again because I was like, the next year I'm like, I am not leaving.
Yeah,
I was pissed off. I didn't get to be Santa. Like I got mad at my cousin because she like did stuff like, Yeah. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think, my dad was still in our house last year, and I refused. I refused to do Christmas at his house because it was the house that I grew up in and it was the house that my mom died in and I just could not. So we did it here last year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which was good. Also because I didn't have to drive to Ohio. But I get the like needing something to change, but I also get still needing some semblance of like tradition or,
Well, and particularly with children, right? I think anyone with the childhood trauma, like you've got to have like my kids, even as annoyed as Gabriella gets at 17, like if something doesn't happen, she'll be like, wait a minute, we are planning on doing this, right? Like it gets like, and I'm like, yes.
I think because we've had this conversation about holidays before too. Like you said, it changes things. Even if you had a traumatic childhood and like you don't like holidays, when you have kids, it changes things.
It's like the magic is so... It's like the most incredible. It's like experiencing it again as when you were a kid. Like, because my parents, I mean, Santa was a big thing in my house. Santa kissed us. And, like, fully the magic I told you about when I got the rug pulled out from under me. But, like.
Ruined her life.
Yes. There's kids in the car. I'm not talking about it. I'm still not over it. I got every single thing I was hopeful about from a little fairy and, like, everything in one swoop. I woke up Christmas morning like,
this is pointless.
It's not the same. But there is just having the magic of like, even, and I'll say it, Gabby never wanted to do the elves, so I never had to do the elf thing. Paisley, on the other hand, all of her friends had elves, so like she was hell-bent on getting an elf. And I'll tell you what, it makes it funner because
Yeah.
it's every morning is magical. Like, what did the elf do? Like, and
Yeah.
she's running to check, and like then she gets so excited for every morning seeing what the elf did, and her behavior's better because the elf reports to Santa every day. Like, there's something so innocent. It's an innocence and like the spirit of Christmas of what I feel. And it's not about the gifts. It's
Yeah.
about the magic of
The
it. Like
magic
when it
and
snows and then they get excited because it's snowing Christmas Eve and Santa's going to be able to go on the roof. Like everything about it feels magical with kids. So even in my Christmas past that I like hated because like my sister died and then it was like awkward. It was just the three of us, whatever. Like there were a lot of years that it was weird. And then, I had Gabby and that was like, just changed it. Right? Everyone got excited again. Even my parents getting excited because my dad to this day, if you don't ask Santa and write a list to Santa, like you're not getting gifts. Santa doesn't deal with non-believers. Santa doesn't have time for it. Like this is what's happening. So, which I've always appreciated because he's like, my dad's like, you get a car and you get a car. And he does like the Christmas story where every year he's like, well, did you have a good Christmas? You happy with everything you got? And you're like, yeah. And you'll like wait for something else to come out and then it doesn't. But then like after we're eating breakfast, like he wheels out whatever it is
some
he like
big thing.
super wanted. And everyone's like, you're like, ah. It's like super fun.
Yeah.
I have like taken that on with my kids. So, which I'm happy about because it feels good to like, I try and get a picture of their faces, right, when they figure it out. So it's fun.
Yeah. Well, I don't have kids, so it's still
we could do
not
it with
fun
your
to me.
cats, maybe.
Yes, because my cats give two shits.
But here's the thing. Regardless of how you feel, even with your family, right? Because you have friends who are family, you have friends you can choose to be family, right? That's what people call it, like be around and spend time with. I think a plan of action is always making sure that you have the connection on that date. Because I do think that Christmas is about love, ultimately, not the gifts. In fact, ironically, because I'm kind of like things, I prefer to give gifts on Christmas.
Oh, for sure.
Way more than I like to open gifts.
Same.
So I like get super excited about everybody opening my gifts. And because I'm really thoughtful and really good at it. Not to toot my own horn or anything, knock on wood, keep up the record going. But I really do enjoy like giving gifts. But I think that I do feel like nobody should be alone. Like it is a more lonely. It adds to your trauma, in my opinion. This is not a professional opinion; it's just my personal opinion. It adds more fuel to that pain and that suffering and that trauma when you just sit alone. Like I hate Christmas.
Well, I'm not sitting alone
I'm not going anywhere.
It's just
like smoking a cigarette in the dark.
Is that how you envision me?
It's just anybody, like, it's just sitting sad. Like, no matter where you go, even if it's just for 2 hours, like, don't be alone.
Yeah.
It cultivates connection, which is what we're all about.
Yes.
So, connect on Christmas.
Yeah.
Here, don't let your trauma override the potential joy of a holiday season that it can bring to you. You can make different traditions. You can do different things. You can go look at lights. Like, I love to look at, like, drive around. Some of these places around us are pretty fancy.
Oh, yeah.
And driving through the neighborhoods with, like, Christmas carols playing and just looking at lights, like, makes me super happy. One, because I'm warm. I'm in my car. And two, because it's pretty.
Well, I think obviously, like, part of it's the trauma, but I think for me, a lot of it is the family aspect. And because I struggle so much with family, and because Christmas is such a family holiday, it just makes it so much harder. And then you're just kind of left, like, I don't know if I want to say lost, but like
Well, you did run into last year, and we're going to run out of time here because we're going to cut off, but you did try to like recreate like your mom's all this stuff, and I was like, why are you doing that? Like, you're just adding to your pressure because prior you had pushed back and had some
distance.
Yes, and little bit of kinks in this the relationship. So it's not like, and you were like hell bent on, no, I have to do this. I have to make this. I have to make this. And I'm like, Anna, you're like way pressuring yourself. Like you're not your mom and she's not here anymore. It's different.
Yeah.
Let it be different.
Well, now I'm doing the complete opposite and I'm like, don't want to do anything.
Precisely.
So.
Precisely.
If it clearly still, not healed.
It's okay to not be healed.
Yeah.
In here, I guess the only way to walk through it is to walk through it. The only way to get through it and to grow from it and to actually have some evolution from it in your soul is to go through the motions. Mm-hmm. 1 year you're cooking things from scratch. 1 year you're saying, fuck it, I'm not doing anything. Yeah. Next year, maybe you're doing a little sprinkle of like
maybe it'll be
both, like just adding it in like the salt guy.
Yes.
Throwing,
Yeah.
But I do think that allowing a painful experience to get in the way of a day that could be beautiful just because of the people, then don't spend time with those people. Find people who bring you joy and spend time with them.
Yeah, which is good, but I think it's still like it doesn't take away from like there's still like that hole there because that like you should be with your family.
No.
It's
Do not should on yourself.
But
that's a negative. That's not that's like a very broken thought process, actually.
No, we know I still have that.
I mean, that's like you don't should on yourself ever. That's not a good.
And then I go down the hole. I mean, we could totally feeling like
we're gonna need a session. Anna. No, like so here. She brought up a very like a valid guilt loop that people fall into, but when you set proper boundaries and allow yourself to recognize that like how people react to what you're doing is none of your business. It doesn't matter. And like, no, you don't have to should be anywhere ever in any circumstance, holiday, not holiday, never. I should be there. Never.
Yeah.
Unless maybe I'm trying to think it really isn't a kid event that you're a parent, like whatever. That's probably the only thing I would green light to say that to. Mm-hmm. Like every other thing is not relevant. Yeah. Not relevant to you. There are tons of people who move across the country, right? Like my cousin moved to Park City. I had an aunt who lived in Phoenix. So they left like our family here. So I learned as a kid when we would go visit them, like, oh, they like create these communities, these people that migrate out west from like the Midwest or from the East Coast. They like have these little communities and they create these little holiday traditions that are similar to the ones back home, but they're not because they don't live in the state, And I think I've always been able to feel like you can bring a piece of that feeling of whatever was joyful in your holiday experience wherever you are.
Yeah.
Without feeling shitty about anything.
Yes.
I mean, you should not have to be anywhere with certain people who make you uncomfortable, who you're dealing with your own personal shit with right now. Like, that's ridiculous. And to sit and feel bad because you should be somewhere and tolerate complete uncomfortable, come back and be debilitated for a month because of it.
Right.
That should not happen. So if anything, some other adult in your family should tell another person to F off and not show up. I mean, if you're going to play it, I'm just playing like the other side of it. Like, that's not fair. You always do that, though. Anna. Always, 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 always sweeping yourself like a little piece, like, doormat.
Yes. That's what I do.
But you bring a lot of joy to your family that I'm sure that they do miss when you're not there. Your dad, in particular, I think enjoys your company. He laughs all the time when he's with you. He like thinks you're funny. You guys like get along real well.
Yeah.
And have created a really different relationship than before your mom died. Mm-hmm. That I think is a beautiful relationship.
Yeah.
I do. He sends you cards. Your dad does things that are so thoughtful. Like, it really has become this really beautiful relationship in your adult life. Mm-hmm. It sucks that it took the circumstances it did to get to where it is, but it is beautiful and it's evolved into something
that I did not think we were capable of having.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's been good for sure.
It's okay to celebrate just that.
Right.
Without dragging the rest of it in.
Yeah. Family's complicated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thanks for coming to my therapy session. Oh, God.
Anyways, happy holidays. We got to get off. It's 34 minutes, and we know that nobody listens after 20.
I don't even know if anyone's going to listen to the randomness that was this.
I feel like we do good with random, though. People dig us on a random vibe.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Let us know.
Give us some feedback.
We'll come back next week, and actually, we'll touch on parents and the triggers. We're going to touch on the shooting on yourself during
Oh, yeah, I've got a lot
these
of
moments,
those.
particularly holidays, because I think that's probably a pretty common thing a lot of people feel. So
Oh, yeah, it's the guilt. It's the, it's the guilt.
guilt is a time waster. So
Yeah.
same with worrying.
But it's
So
a bitch.
anyways, we're going to talk about that next week. Write that down when we get off this so that we remember it.
Okay, noted.
All right, everyone have a good week. Don't go off on people in grocery store lines, and definitely don't be a renegade on the road. You don't need to be a hero. Run a little late. Don't get a ticket.
Yes.
See you guys next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.